What's up, everybody? I hope you all have had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Listen, it is a new day. It's a new week. Another opportunity to do the right thing. Another opportunity to make sure you bless somebody else. And another opportunity to make sure you are to be all that God has called you to be. In order to be all that God has called you to be, there's something that we have to always remember, and that is to not be afraid. Do not be afraid. The Bible tells us 365 times not to be afraid. And it's interesting enough because how many days are there in a year? 365, 366 if you want to count leap year, which happens every 4 years. But in a regular year, there are 365 days. So God is telling us throughout his word to not be afraid. Each day, don't be afraid, because I am with you each and every single day. And I know that may seem to be easier said than done. I know there are things that you may be afraid of, like you may be afraid of the dark, you may be afraid of bugs, you may even be afraid to speak before the class sometimes. But listen, understand that you can conquer, which means you can defeat, which means you can beat, and you can come out on top and always conquer over your fears, because the faith in your God and the God that we serve, the faith always, always, always overcomes the fear. And I want to suggest to you that if we look at 1 Samuel, in 1 Samuel chapter 17, there's a story that we all know about. And that story is about David and Goliath. And I'm pretty sure that David was afraid, because here was this big giant of a man, and this person who was way taller and bigger than what David was. And David stood not within his own courageous self, but stood in his faith of God. This is how I know, because he says, listen, the same God that was with me when I defeated lions and bears, when I had to fight them and had to destroy them, when I had to go against those things, God was with me. And the same God is with you. And once again, I want to challenge you all to read that 1 Samuel chapter 17, that story of David and Goliath. And if those who will be around and be able to ask those questions of who David was and who Goliath was. David was just a young shepherd. He was one who tended to the sheep and was always out in the pasture and dealing with the sheep. And Goliath was this Philistine, this warrior, and he basically tormented the Israelites and picked on them and bullied them because he was always bigger. But David knew somebody bigger, and God is bigger than any giant that we may have to face in life. So remember that. Anytime that you have to face the Goliaths of your life, have faith in God and watch God overcome the fear that you may face of what you're looking at, and you'll overcome and have victory every time. God bless you. I love you. Take care.